Happy Odin's Day. Happy New Rune Day. So, before we go into New Rune Day, I need to have some reflection on my connection to Tiwaz. Now, I was leaning towards one way of thinking, that after the recent few weeks we've had in heathenry, that there was a sense of justice, and that perhaps justice is something that can be observed by all parties. It's no big deal. Questions have been asked, points have been made, disagreements have been aired. There's some things missing from the conversation, because that's all it really was about, was a conversation. However, by the by, something else reared its head that really meant putting aside differences, because there was a compelling reason to unite as one against a announcement and projection of intent by someone we don't really want in the UK. And that's a post that was made by a representative of the Asatru Folk Assembly, the AFA, citing intention to start advertising and holding moots in the UK. Notably, and the impression seems to be that the guy who was organising it just expected to rock up to Stonehenge, of all places, and have a moot, which, made public on Twitter. This was picked up by Alan Pardee of the Police Pagan Federation. A statement by the Pagan Federation and other groups involved with that was made, that we do not want this, and to share it to other pagan groups, and for it to be made that we as a whole, as a collective in the UK, do not want the AFA here, or do not want them certainly going to Stonehenge and performing ceremony or ritual or whatnot. You're not wanted. Alan Pardee then put up a petition as responses started to be implemented that gained massive momentum very quickly. And it was also revealed that the AFA had made no contact with Stonehenge. The people who monitor the site, English Heritage, and it's essentially, within 24 hours or so, dead in the water. The guy has sort of closed his Twitter account, and heathenry, paganism that's not a hate group that supports white supremacy have united and said, no thank you, go away, which is great. It's great. Fully support that, absolutely. And can't help feeling that that is the message of Tiwaz. From a personal level, I'm not saying that I've manipulated things in any way, because that would be arrogant, presumptuous, and a nonsense, because what I'm connected to isn't experience. What it is a recognition of is when we all pull together in the same direction, nothing can stop us. Which in itself is great, brilliant message. And, you know, everyone will break down their part in this experience for themselves as they see fit. So let me reiterate, I am not saying my connection to Tiwaz for the past week is in any way responsible for what has happened. It's more of my experience and how it's just a, you know, again, a coincidence of sorts that how your life plays out when you connect to the runes and what goes on around you. Are you connecting dots? You don't need to. You decide. I mean, I think the one thing is that just things happen when there's no sort of squabbles to get in the way, and we all recognise an evil that has to be opposed, and that's what the AFA are. That's up to you to go and look them up if you don't know already. I mean, they've got some. Do yourself a favour and look them up so you know for yourself the answers. But yeah, it's in terms of a period of time that has now passed, and my connection to Tiwaz, I am very grateful for its wisdom, and to see that wisdom in action in, you know, my fellow Norse pagans, animists, etc. It is, you know, a critical success. What may be a longer campaign, but it's a great start. Well done, everyone. Everyone. So, new Rune Day. So, I'll now be disconnecting from Tiwaz and connecting to Burkano, or Burkan as it's written in Swain Plowright's book, representing the birch tree. So let's go through the rune poems, starting with the Old English rune poem. Beark. Birch is lacking fruit. It bears even so sprouts without seed. Its boughs beautiful, high on top, fairly decorated, grown with leaves close to the sky. For the old Icelandic rune poem, Bjarkan. Birch is a leaf-covered limb, and a slender tree, and a sprightly wood. And for the old Norwegian rune poem, Bjarkan. Birch is leaf greenest of limbs. Loki bore treachery's fortune. I'll confess, I mean, I've looked through these before, but I kind of try to come into these a little bit blind as I read them out. And I hadn't foreseen Loki being mentioned. And it's nice to see Loki being mentioned. If that's the right phrase. It's not really the right phrase. I respect the presence of Loki in Norse paganism. Personally, I'm not a massive fan, but it is good to see. So let's go over some key words from Lisa Chamberlain's book for you to reference or to work with, or whatever you choose to do, as I will also find, you know, over the course of the next week connected to Bacano. So the keywords are birth, new beginnings, family, growth, regeneration. And it's very much also acknowledged to be an aspect of feminine power or feminine divinity even. So we'll go from there. There's the rune poems and keywords, and we'll see what happens over the coming week. It's an interesting time. So for now, thank you for watching. Do take care of yourself. Be good. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.